CNN Motorsports proudly presents live exclusive coverage of the Sundrop 400 NASCAR Busch Series Grand National Race from Hickory, North Carolina. 1/3 of a mile. It's the smallest, but perhaps the toughest of the Busch Series tracks, and it's a great day to go racing. 67 degrees, cloudy, very breezy. A little bit of high clouds, but a chance of rain late in the day, though not until we get this one concluded. Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Joy. A little windy here at Top Hickory Motor Speedway, but down below on this 3rd mile, Busch Series is set to do battle. It's supposed to be nice to folks on Easter Sunday, Robert Presley said, and then they'll wave the green flag. Well, the Easter Bunny's been busy this weekend. You know, usually we get press releases from a lot of the teams like this, updates on the different drivers. Karen Goins-Burns, who handles the PR for Larry Pearson, sent us Easter baskets with all the fresh little notes on Larry right here, so we appreciate that. In fact, I understand the Easter Bunny has had a very busy weekend. Let's go trackside. Here's Glenn Jarrett.
Oh, man, I am really tired. I've been up all night delivering these baskets. You know what? We're back at Hickory, North Carolina. We're back on the short track, and back on the pole is David Green, but he hopes there's something else. He wants a win in his Easter basket today.
Yeah, it's a victory here. What about them mirrors there, Glenn? Slim Jim Chevrolets ran awful good, you know, and once they hello to all those people and everybody back home spending Easter, my day's not going to be as comfortable as yours, but we hope to put this Chevrolet in victory lane today.
Well, in the last practice session yesterday, folks, David had a little problem with the chassis on the car. The crew worked all morning. Is it okay, David?
Yeah, everything's fine. We just had a bolt break right there and kind of messed us up. But, you know, this car is great. It's been good ever since we unloaded. So if the driver does his job today, we'll be in victory lane.
Well, he is way, way overdue for a win. I think it might come today, Easter Sunday, here at Hickory Speedway. Mike?
Well, Glenn, good luck getting your headset to fit over those floppy ears, silly wabbit. Buddy Baker has won 2 races here at Hickory, joins me, and you talk about a tight, tough place to go racing.
Well, it is that, Mike, and I guarantee everybody wants to win at Hickory. You know, it's rich in tradition. It's kind of like the Southern 500 in Darlington. Everybody in this field today would like to leave here saying, hey, I've won at Hickory. It's a great racetrack.
Tradition's one thing, but what's more important here, handling or horsepower?
Definitely handling. I've been up here with a car that I had no chance of winning with, and you get a little off on power, and it would hook up, and all of a sudden you'd be leading the race. Handling is 90% of it.
Well, in a moment, we'll find out who's got the handle to handle this tough 1/3 mile, and we'll go find the rest of the Easter eggs in this field when we come back. Welcome back to Hickory Motor Speedway. There on the right side of the screen are those brightly painted Easter eggs, but they've each got 4 tires and about 500 horsepower. Before we start this race at Hickory, let's bring you up to speed on the Busch Series. Here's the Haviland update. Point leader Terry Labonte is not at Hickory today, leaving perhaps Kenny Wallace, Randy LaJoie, or Hermie Sadler to leave here with the point lead. Here's the rest of the top 10, anchored by David Green, today's pole sitter. Though Labonte leads the win list with 2, Mark Martin picked up the victory last week at Darlington. Among the Busch Series regulars, the man on the move has been number 8, Kenny Wallace. 2nd here at Richmond, 3rd at Martinsville, and 4th at Darlington. Wallace is a contender for the title. Who else, Kenny?
Well, most definitely, Randy LaJoie is going to be pretty tough. Randy's got a lot of experience in these cars, and plus he's a hard driver. You know, Larry Pearson is coming on. You know, you look at Ricky Craven and Hermie Sadler. I mean, you know, you're looking at the top 5 guys in points right now, and then there's some people that are going to get on a hot streak. But those are the people that that I feel like, you know, are going to be really tough to beat.
Here are the top rookie contenders in the series, and of these 5, Johnny Benson, Dennis Setzer, and Stevie Reeves all qualified for today's race. Pre-race is complete, and we're set to go racing here at Hickory, North Carolina, live this Easter Sunday on TNN. Stay with us. The engines are running here at Hickory, North Carolina, and we're set to go racing. Today's starting lineup is brought to you by the Sears Die Hard Battery. On the pole at 89.262 miles per hour, David Green, 3rd pole this year, and they've all come on short tracks. On the outside, Ricky Craven, who finished 2nd in this race 1 year ago. The surprise winner here last November, Johnny Rumley, has qualified his Chevy in 3rd. And Kenny Wallace, who has 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place finishes, starts 4th today. Hometown hero Tommy Houston has won 8 times on this racetrack. He'll roll off 5th. And Robert Presley cut his teeth here as well. He's 6th in the point standings, starting 6th. Jim Bound has his best qualifying effort of 1994. And going 8th, Hermie Sadler, who's the number 3-point man. And his brother's a racer, too. Had a strong run last evening on a short track nearby. Tommy Ellis, a 3-time winner at Hickory, goes 9th. And Tom Peck has his first top 10 qualifying effort this season. Back in row number 6, Mike Wallace finished 10th here last year. And starting 12th, Larry Pearson, who won here in 1984 and 1985. Jason Keller makes his second start at Hickory, and Stevie Reeves, one of the top rookie contenders. Former modified champ Mike McLaughlin will share the 8th row with Kenny Schrader, who looks for his first Busch Series win since '89. There's the leading rookie on the circuit, Johnny Benson Jr. He'll go from row 9 along with Doug Hebrod, who finished 5th at Martinsville. Tim Fedewa has a new sponsor to reward his 3 top 10 finishes this year. And Robbie Reiser from Wisconsin makes his 3rd Busch Series start. Randy LaJoy, 3rd place point man, will start 21st, and Dave Rezendes makes his 7th Hickory start. Bobby Dotter has 3 top 10s here, and Dennis Setzer's won here 39 times in late model stocks. Dirk Stevens from the NASCAR Northwest Tour and Elton Sawyer has a pair of top 10s here. Kevin LePage, his 5th Busch Series start, and Chris Diamond, Hickory Speedway regular, makes his Busch debut. The provisional starters are Chad Little, who is 7th in the point standings, and Tracy Leslie, who is 9th in the point parade. From the pace car, the Ford Thunderbird that sets the pace here at Hickory. Looking back in the front row, and today we'll ride along with Bobby Dotter in the DeWalt Tools Chevrolet. First time we've ever had 4 movable cameras in any car. There's the race cam that tilts and pans. We've got what Gary Clem calls the doggy out the window looking cam. And there it is from the passenger side. And if the dog moves over to the driver's side, that's what he will see over there. And here's the Snoop Doggy Dog cam underneath the rear bumper of Bobby Dotter's car. And that, of course, will pan 360 degrees as well. And you'll have a little look at the left rear suspension on Dotter's machine. Tough to make the field here, as it's been every race. Look at this list of drivers who were not able to qualify for today's event. Some of these drivers have been to every Busch race this season and found it a tough time getting into the field. And there are some series regulars like Rodney Combs and Richard Lassiter in that group as well, who did not make the show today. 30 cars will start as they come off turn number 4 this time. David Green heads them down for turn number 1 on the 3rd mile Hickory Speedway for the first of 300 laps today. It's going to be Craven looking for the lead out of turn 2. Good clean start. And it is Craven who goes to the front.
Craven said he made a lot of changes on the car, hoping they were right this morning. Looked like he got it dialed in pretty good. He was loose in the last practice, so he made some adjustments, but he looked like he's well on his way here.
Dirk Stevens from the Northwest, and there's Dennis Setzer, another hometown favorite, looking for Bobby Dotter's car. The laps went off pretty quickly here at Hickory, 15-16 second range. So if one car gets hooked up, you make it a tough day for the rest of the field. 3 laps into the race.
Look at Johnny Rumbley there. He won the race here the last time we were here, and I tell you what, he just has a knack of getting around this racetrack. He really runs well here.
Rumbley in the 00, the Big Dog Cole car, started 3rd, and he's after David Green's runner-up spot.
Well, he's not the big dog yet, but he's working on it.
He was here last November. There's Kenny Wallace, the TIC Financial Ford, number 8, and Robert Presley, another hometown star, in the 99.
Yeah, you see Kenny Wallace there. I tell you, this year he has really improved in his driving style. I think he's ready for the Winston Cup Series next year.
Back at 9th spot, there's Tom Peck in the Channellock, number 31, battling Jim Bound. 9th spot going to Peck there.
Talking about 31 car, Steve Grissom is here today. I said, that's what you do on your day off. You're a racer. You go watch your car run.
I had dinner with Jeff Bodine Friday night up in Greensboro. I said, how do you feel about having a weekend off? And he looked at me and he kind of hesitated, and we both agreed on guilty. It's like we ought to be doing something.
That's why Kenny Schrader's here.
Ricky Craven is legging it out. Here's Tommy Ellis and Tom Peck battling. New sponsor for Ellis this week, Chevy dealership. And you got about 3 or 4 of them on that car. Here's this battle once again as they come off the corner. RK Chevrolet on Tommy Ellis and Moen Fawcett.
You know, one thing about a short track, you see like Tommy Ellis just got past there and you think he's kind of out of it, but a lot of people wait, and you know, with the tire rules they have and all, a lot of people lay back at the first part of the race and wait to adjust the chassis and get back in the fray after they make their first stop.
Both Goodyear and Hoosier tires came to Hickory, but none of the Hoosier shod cars made the field. The entire field's on Goodyear's today.
Well, they are, but Hoosier let everybody that's under contract to them go to Goodyear when they got here because they found that the sidewall on this particular tire is a little too stiff, and when the track got greasy, it would slide across the surface. So, you know, it shows a lot of class for Hoosier.
Look at the lead Ricky Craven's built up here in just a few laps. 12 laps into this race. That's where the pressure is, right there. Johnny Rumley in third. In the 00, Kenny Wallace and Robert Presley.
Robert Presley, he's heated this racetrack anytime he's anywhere near the front. He's been around this place a million times.
That's about as close as you can get without touching. As Wallace and Rumley were a second ago, and Presley's decided the low groove is going to prevail here. Here he comes.
Yeah, he can run out of the place, so that's the good part. I've watched him pass cars on the outside in early goings here, so it looks like Robert Presley's really dialed in pretty decent. There's Hermie Sadler coming in the picture.
Now, Sadler's number 25 Virginia's for Lovers Chevrolet got badly damaged in the last practice here yesterday. We'll get an update in a bit from Glenn on what they've done. Glenn, what's the update on Hermie Sadler's car this morning?
Well, Mike, they worked long and hard and pretty well destroyed all the suspension on the left front of the car. They worked and replaced all that. It was just a shot in the dark as to whether they got everything straight or not. I'm really impressed with the way the car is running right now. Seems to be okay.
I would agree. He said they made an educated guess for what to do today.
These guys are pretty educated when it comes to these racetracks. Whoa, hold that thing. Oh, he got it back straight. Rumley says, I'm a little loose. I think I'll take it easy for a couple of laps.
Here's Tommy Houston moving up. The number 6, his last victory came right here at Hickory.
Yeah, he's got 24 wins on the Busch Grand National Circuit, and I think 8 of them come from Hickory. So he's a real threat anytime he's running in a race here.
You know, back at Rockingham, we said, you know, somebody really needs to pick up and sponsor Tommy Houston. It's a good car without a deal, and a fellow named Ed Johnson, who runs a financial services company, heard that and put his name on that car for Darlington. Tommy said they just ran a few laps, so they left it on to give him a good ride here at Hickory.
You know, you see Houston going on the inside there. You look like he'd just go right on by, but at this racetrack, the angle coming off the corner, when you're right on the bottom of the racetrack, you don't run off the corner quite as fast as the car on the outside. So to get by him, you've got to really drive in hard and hope that the outside car maybe washes out a little bit.
Rumley's car looks pretty good on the high side, though.
Well, anytime you're loose, you have to move up on the racetrack and hope that you can use more real estate to keep from having to turn it tight and letting the back end jump out on it.
Trouble, turn 2, Dave Resendiz in the Lipton T Ford. Up into the wall in turn number 2.
You see all the dirt and debris on the outside of this groove right here. Once you get out there, you're in a lot of trouble because all the rubber dust and everything builds up on the high side of the racetrack. You get out there, you're pretty well wrecked.
In the pits today, they were trying to find somebody to spot for Resendiz today up on the roof and warn him of any trouble on the racetrack, but this time, sadly, it was him. At Hickory, we are 24 laps completed. We'll be right back. Happy Easter, everybody. Whatever holiday you're celebrating at home, glad to have you with us on TNN today. Sundrop 400 at Hickory, North Carolina. Late model sportsman action follows this with not one, but 2 Earnhardts in the field. Kerry and Kelly, Dale's older son and daughter, are in the field for that race this afternoon.
He's got 3 kids that are very talented.
The way they're running after 27 laps now, first caution of the day. A couple cars have made pit stops here.
This has been fun this weekend. We watched Dale Jarrett's son run yesterday in his first race ever. He finished 5th. I thought he was very impressive.
Yep, the late model stocks. Let's get an update on pit stops. Here's Glenn.
Well, Mike, Dave Resendez just left out of here. He's trying to repair that damage to the left rear of the car. It appeared to me, I was looking right at him, looked like he might have gotten the corner a little too hard. A lot of cars are loose. Chad Little came in under the caution, took a rubber out of the right rear spring. That's to soften the rear end up, try to get a little bit better bite. One thing keep an eye on, years past here at Hickory, when you see a car bolt out to a big lead like Ricky Craven has, that car is usually really hooked up at that time. But when the tires wear down, he'll come back to the field, so keep an eye on him. I don't think he can sustain that pace very long.
Thanks, Glenn. We'll see. There's a look at Resendez's car. NASCAR is going to see, make sure that isn't flopping around. They'll try to leave him out there. Chris Diamond ran into Resendez after the spin and had some front end damage on his number 68. We're back under green.
Talking about spinning going in the corner, there's a fine line here. I mean, you're just like walking a tight wire. I mean, you make the wrong move here and the car will turn around so quick you can't believe it.
And they're going to put the black flag out for Resendez. They want him to tie down that left rear quarter panel. Here's Robert Presley in the Budget Gourmet Chevy, number 99, going after Kenny Wallace.
I was watching Kenny's car. It hangs out just a little bit in the center of the corner, and it looks like Robert Presley's car might just have a little bit better handle in the center part of the corner than Wallace's car. See it wash out there.
You see much difference here, Chevy versus Ford?
Not really. This racetrack is all handling. If you hit the combination, the motor is something to get you to point A to point B. You can lose a cylinder here a lot of times and pick up because you can use the throttle more than you can when you're hitting on all 8 or 6 in this case.
Well, they've left Hermie Sadler by about a car length or 2. Once again, it's Ricky Craven, though, who's hooked up. Battle here is for second place. And a little further back, Dirk Stevens. There's Bobby Dotter, and a look out the right side window at Elton Sawyer. Ford red carpet lease machine.
Good shot.
Yeah.
Almost a good shot.
Almost a shot in the side. A little close going into the corner. They're in 3 and out of 4.
As you can see down the side of these cars, this is a contact sport, whether you believe it or not. And there's a little door where wheels got into the door there. If you make it through here without scratching it up, you've done something.
Sawyer told me he got a phone call last night. Ooh, yeah, that's close. He got a phone call, and he almost couldn't hear the caller. There was so much noise going on. It was Bill Davis, who owns Bobby Labonte's car that Sawyer used to work for on the Busch circuit last year. The spin up in turn 4. Mike McLaughlin spins it, but gets going again. There he is. Spun it around and just kept on going. Davis was calling from the Arkansas game down in Charlotte at the Coliseum for Final 4 action to call and ask Elton how he made out.
Yeah, and congratulate. Oh, we have a spin coming out of 4. Randy LaJoie's in the middle of it. Dennis
Setzer, Bobby Dotter. Ouch. Dirk Stevens just barely got stopped in time. Bobby Reiser.
Randy LaJoie's back under power here. That's real important to him. He's moved up to 3rd place in the points right now, and I'm sure he wants to stay there or better himself today.
There were at least 4 cars involved in that one.
I'd say Dennis Setzer's pretty well done. The front end of that car is really wiped out.
5 cars. Setzer on his home racetrack has not had a good start to the day.
Boy, that's a lot of damage. That's where they keep the oil coolers and, of course, the radiators right under there where they're pulling on. So there's a lot of damage to that car.
There's a fresh radiator already out to go on there. See, Stevie Reeves is around off the nose of LaJoie. Reiser goes spinning. Setzer piled right in. Bobby Dotter got into it. Dirk Stevens got stopped. Now, from Bobby Dotter's car, let's show you what he saw. All right, we're not going to, that's not quite what he saw. But, Doug Hevron's car appeared to bog down there in turn 4, and the field stacked up behind him. That's how that one seemed to have gotten
Mike,
started.
the one thing you noticed, you didn't see a lot, but you heard a lot. You could hear it sound like somebody backed into the garage door every 30, 40 feet there. Poop, poop, poop.
That's it. Here's how they're running. Second caution of the day comes out. We're at 41 laps. Well, they gave the 1 lap to go sign to go back to green, and now the caution flag's waving once again. Randy LaJoie lost a lap in that skirmish. He'll be trying to get it back on the restart from Ricky Craven. Let's show you from the start-finish line what happened up there. Watch the top of your screen.
Big traffic jam, I can tell you that.
No place to go.
I was looking at Randy LaJoie's car. The back end torn up considerably because he did take a pretty good shot straight in, but it's all below the rear spoiler, so it shouldn't hurt the car as far as the handling. You see the back end's caved in. He got a real shot there, but had it been up about 3 or 4 inches and knock that rear spoiler back or hurt it in that direction, you'd really have handling trouble.
Well, Ricky Craven's been the fastest car here. It's doubtful anybody can get a lap back from him, but let's see what happens. Lap 45 will be the green flag.
He's got a bulldog on the outside. We'll see.
Stevie Reeves right behind.
Oh, what a jump.
Yep. Also a lap down because of the incident are Dirk Stevens and Bobby Dotter. They're riding with Dotter this time as he hugs the high groove down into turn 3. Tommy Houston on the inside. And the left front of Dotter's car looks pretty bent. Houston underneath Stevie Reeves. Looked like he was going after Johnny Rumley there for a moment.
You have to show a lot of patience when you're running on this racetrack, and that's what these guys are doing right now. I see the 05 of Tommy Ellis has got a big piece of metal hanging off on the left front. I wouldn't be surprised if he won't get the black. As a matter of fact, they're putting the black flag out on him right now.
Yep. There's a look at the car just coming into frame. The whole right fender is peeled back on Ellis's car. Watch Kenny Schrader there in 52 as he's moving up behind Jason Keller.
See Schrader there. I think he would rather race than anything else on this earth. I mean, when he has 2 minutes off on the weekend, he wants to race somewhere.
Here's your Napa Field standing update brought to you by Napa. We keep America running. Here's where the field.
Oh, our doggy Cam had to get back in the car there.
That was Jim Bound saying hello to Bobby Dotter. Chad Little going by.
Bobby's having a lot of trouble with that car. He really got the front end caved in that wreck. I wouldn't be surprised if our doggy Cam don't have to come in.
Here's the battle for 6th place. Tommy Houston is underneath Johnny Rumley. Boy, going to use that lap car of Dirk Stevens as a pick. Tom Peck gets underneath and they're 3 wide for a moment going into turn 3.
Mike, you just said the key to Hickory. Try to find the slower car and make a move when you know that he can't make any counter when you start in the corner, and you can pass him real easy, and once you get the position, you keep it.
That's what Tommy Houston did, and now he pulls up on Hermie Sadler. Trouble in 3. Schrader got into the back of Jason Keller. Keller went around. Chad Little spins to miss everybody. Well, Keller's going to stay on the lead lap.
Easy leaders. Whoa.
And Randy LaJoie
gets his lap back.
Heads up move by LaJoie. Now, the way the rule is written, you race back to the start-finish line. But the way the rule is interpreted and enforced is that only if you are racing the leader to get a lap back, only if you're racing the leader do you run back to the start-finish line. So Craven checked up. Randy LaJoie went on and got back on the lead lap. 3rd caution of the day. They come quickly here at Hickory. We'll be right back. And look for green right here. On lap 59, Jason Keller's car gets a push, gets off pit road. Robbie Reiser's still there. So is Dennis Setzer. Tommy Ellis has climbed out of his car. Too much damage to the right front to continue. The race picks up about like we left it. Ricky Craven quickly distancing the field. lot of folks in the pits after yesterday's practice and his qualifying run thought that Craven might see that first career checkered flag in this series today.
Well, you have feelings about things, and I felt all the whole week that Ricky Craven was going to be the car to beat, and it makes you feel better when you see it out front like that. But there's plenty of competition behind him. That pole car sitting right behind him, David Green, right there. He can move so fast. I mean, he looks like he closes in anytime he wants to.
Once again, Randy LaJoie made a pit stop. Here's LaJoie moving up on Mike McLaughlin. Brett Bodine is here as a spotter for McLaughlin today. They're both graduates of the NASCAR Modified Tour. Brett and his brother Todd got to see Final Four action down at the Coliseum last night. Todd's sponsor, Adidas, is one of the sponsors on his car, and they set him up with some tickets.
Now, right there is where Randy LaJoie has all his problems. He's trying to get up out of the corner. You can drive into the corner a little bit harder and make the front end push out just a little bit, but trying to get off the corner when they want to spin the wheels is when loose really bothers you.
Yeah, had to check up there, and that's why. Chad Little is around, and so is the 68 of Chris Diamond. The Hickory Speedway regular. No caution flag. Both drivers get going again. Black flag out on Jason Keller. He's trailing the left rear sheet metal from that last incident. Greenville, South Carolina rookie will have to make a stop. I'll show you again what happened here in the backstretch.
Wow, that's hard to tell from right there. They may have touched back in the corner there, but Chad Little's car, that's the second time he's been around, so I'm not sure whether 68 got sideways to begin with and caused that or not.
Battle for the lead right here, as David Green had a look underneath Ricky Craven going into turn 3.
You know, just this car, no matter who comes up here, when Labonte was in it, he was up front, and David Green was the crew chief at that time. Now they moved him over as driver. This car is very impressive. The longer you run under Green, he's right there every time. And I didn't mean that as a pun.
Robbie Reiser's back in the race. The former star of Slinger Speedway in Wisconsin is running just ahead of the leaders. There's his blue number 17 car.
Doug Hebron's having a little problem there. Up, Dirk Stevens up on the inside wall on the back straightaway there. No caution.
Welcome to Hickory.
Yeah. Boy, I tell you, getting out of the corner here, if you're loose, it's really critical. There'll be a lot of chassis adjustments when they finally do make a green flag stop.
Stevens, we told you at Martinsville, had to sit out the race when they lost their only motor in practice. They've since picked up a Larry Wallace motor. They've got a couple others in the shop and a couple other coming back from being freshened. Crew Chief Rick Wren told me, so they're set to go for a while.
See Kenny Wallace moving in on those first two cars there. I think he's found a place in the middle part of the racetrack. He seems to really be running quite well.
Wallace in third place in the number 8 car. Robert Freshley right there in fourth. And both those drivers exhibiting a lot of patience in the early going here.
Yeah, you know, Harry Gant always, we accuse him of running a high groove, but Harry Gant probably won as many times here at Hickory as anybody has, and he was able to adapt to a higher or lower line, whatever he had to do to make the car faster. See Kenny's approach in the corner there was a little higher, but it seems to be letting him get off the corner real fast. Oh man.
Tommy Houston got into Hermie Sadler. Now it's hard to tell that that's a sophomore driver in that car, because Hermie Sadler just did a tremendous job of straightening that car out. I thought he was gone, buddy.
That was 2 caution flags. It just didn't develop. I tell you, that was kind of ragged right there. But what happened there, you know, you watch these things and you say, well, he just meant to run right into him. When you're running this tight, like they do in traffic here, just 1 second, you get back in the throttle and they back off, you punch them, and it looked like you just tried to run over them. You know Houston wouldn't do that. I've watched him race too much. He's really smooth. I just think he just inadvertently got in the back of it.
It's like one of John Boy's jokes the other morning. He says, I don't ever want to find out you did that on purpose. And the guy says back, well, if I ever do it on purpose, you won't ever find out. Johnny Rumley in the 00 had that big win here last fall. Kenny Schrader in 52. The Kodiak Chevy coming right up on him as they close in on Hermie Sadler.
Yeah, you see Schrader moving in there. He's a master at using that throttle nice and easy up off the corner.
Sadler there is in 8th spot. Look at Elton Sawyer and Tracy Leslie and Larry Pearson.
Yeah, I think Jake Elton